The Battle of Mišar took place from 12 to the 15th of August 1806, with a Serbian victory over the Ottomans. For months the Serbian insurgents remained entrenched in sconce fortification on field of Misar Hill, and a pitched battle itself seemed impossible for the Serbian rebels because Serbs had 6,000 to 8,000 soldiers and Ottomans had 50,000 to 80,000. Turkish army made its way toward occupied Belgrade. Karadjordje Petrović came to Misar, and made his plans with rest of Serbian commanders. During following 4 days, from Saturday to Thuesday, there were smaller clashes with Turkish scouts, but on the morning of Wednesday, the main event happened. The sconce fortress. When Karadjordje arrived, he calculated the strategic position. He then made his decision, that the sconce fortification should be on top of Misar Hill, on the field on the hill, between river Sava, the wooden villages Zabar, Jelenča and Mišar. The sconce fortification was placed in direction north-south with 2 of its corners where cannons were placed. The fortress was made from earth, with palisade as protection, and it had trenches around it. It had 5 cannons and a place to put powder and ammunition. Confrontation. The fighting began on Misar Hill, with an opening charge of the Turkish Sipahi cavalry followed by a charge of their infantry units led by the Bosniak Captain Mehmed Kulnović of Zvornik. The Serbian rebels made a sconce fortification in form of square, which was 300 by 280 m in its dimensions, and Karadjordje remained in fortification to keep morale of men. The fortification had trenches around it. It was idea that the leader of rebels Karadjordje stay in fortification, while Serbian cavalry wait the moment to attack, led by Luka Lazarević and Miloš Ibnović. The Serbian sharpshooters and gunners mowed down the first line of cavalry, and panic struck the Turkish lines when the horsemen retreated into the infantry led by Mehmed Kulnović of Zvornik. However, the Ottomans soon regrouped and engaged the Serbian infantry. At one point Serbian men struck panic and they all went on middle of sconce fortress, but Karadjordje took his saber, and ordered them to get back on their posts. Then, Karadjordje Petrović signaled for the charge of the Serbian cavalry from the opposite ends with 2 simultaneously cannon fire, to come, and defeated the Ottomans on the field. Citation needed. Serbian rebel cavalry, intended as a reserve, were situated close to the ditch near village of Zabar. Fights at Misar lasted several days with mutual losses, but the battle itself ended with the collapse of the Ottoman center and the exposure of the right and left columns. Mehmed Kulnović and the remaining Ottomans and Bosniaks continued asymmetric efforts against the advancements of the Serbian rebels. Then the Luka Lazarević charged with cavalry, broke the Turkish line, and the cavalry divided into 2 parts. One part charged boldly on Turkish artillery. The first rank was killed, but the rest killed all the artillery, and came to Turkish headquarters, where Turkish chief in command Süleyman Pasha Skopljak was celebrating too soon. Mehmed Kulnović of Zvornik and his Bosniak were killed on the battlefield. The remaining Turkish Bosniak army fled in panic from the battlefield. Some crossed Drina, some were killed, and some crossed Sava. Death of Mehmed Kulnović. Some Serbian sources say that Mehmed Kulnović of Zvornik, or Kulen Captain, as Serbs refer to him, died in a duel with Luka Lazarević during battle, in which Luka was wounded. Other sources say that Mehmed was killed by some Serbian riflemen, who killed him by treason from ambush, after his duel with Luka. Mehmed is the central figure with his wife in epic poem by Philip Visnjeg Na Misaru, or Battle of Mišar, where Mehmed's wife waits for news from battlefield, that is brought to her by 2 ravens that are a metaphor of Bosniaks from the army who fled to Bosna across the Drina. Testimony by Sekula Gavrilović. One of men that were involved in battle, Sekula Gavrilović, told how it was during the battle. He said Karadjordje came to Misar on Saturday. On Sunday there was a smaller clash with Turkish scouts. From Monday to Tuesday there was nothing, and on Wednesday the battle occurred. The testimony was written during 1810 by Isidor Stojanović, only 4 years after the battle, while Serbia was under rule of Karadjordje, but it was published as a commemorative in 1848. Aftermath. The battle forced the Turks into retreat and provided a significant military and morale victory for the Serbian rebels.